let's look at one more example today. This example is talking about a math homework grade. And as you can see, the number of completed assignments is related to your homework grade or percent. So you can see that the grade increases the more assignments that are done. Now, on the problem before, we used slope-intercept method because we knew what the slope was and we knew what the y-intercept was. However, on this one, even if I zoom way in, I can't really tell where that intercept is. Okay, that's kind of a big old question mark. Looks like it's a little less than 80, so maybe 76, 77, something like that. But I can't really tell for sure, and this is not a place to estimate. So we're not going to be able to know the y-intercept. We can't use slope-intercept form right now. However, we do have 2 points. And if we have 2 points, taking a peek up here, we can still graph the line using our equation for slope and the point slope form, or we can also use Desmos or the calculator, and that's what we're going to do today. All right, so I'm in Desmos. That's just at desmos.com, or you might have the app on your phone or an iPad. You can use that as well. So I'm going to click on the plus symbol that's in the upper left corner. And once I do that, I'm going to see a drop-down menu, and I want to select Table. After I have the table selected, I need to enter my x values and my y values. So my x values were 10 and 20. And the corresponding y values, at 10 I was at 85, and at 20 I was at 95. So there's my 2 points. Now, we can see the 2 points on the graph. If your screen isn't zoomed in appropriately, you can touch the little magnifying glass that's in the blue area there, at the bottom of the blue area, and that will zoom it in for you. I want Desmos to create a line through those 2 points, so we need to tell Desmos to do that. I'm going to go ahead and have it write it in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, but we have to use the right terminology with Desmos. You'll notice that our table doesn't just say x values and y values, it says x1 and y1 values, so we're going to go ahead and use those notation with those little subscripts of 1 instead of our typical just y equals mx plus b. So if we start out, instead of saying y, we're going to say y1. You don't have to worry about the subscript. It takes care of it just when you type the 1. And since we're wanting Desmos to figure out the line, we want it to kind of approximate it, we need to tell it that. So instead of saying equals, because we're not telling Desmos what it equals, Desmos is telling us, we want to use the approximation symbol, also known as the tilde. If you've got a Chromebook or computer and you have a keyboard, you can just use the keyboard key, and that keyboard key occurs right above tab before you get to escape over on the left-hand side, and you do have to hit shift to get to it. All right, so we have y1. We want it to approximate, and we'll put in x1. Oops, I forgot to put in the m. I'm going to go back. Let me get the m in there. M times x1 plus b. All right, so once we get that, we're given all these things. We're giving residuals, we're given statistics, and parameters. What we want to look at is the parameters. We have an m value and a b value. That's our slope and our intercept. So looking down here, yes, we can see that b, the y-intercept, is at 75 there. And we're told that the slope is 1. We'll get into some of the statistics things next time. Let's go back to our notes. Based on the information from Desmos, we found out that our y-intercept was at 75 and our slope was equal to 1. So you may want to make yourself a note that we used Desmos to find the values of b and m. All right, And now we can use slope-intercept form with y is equal to mx plus b again. And plugging in, we'll see y is equal to 1 times x plus 75. We don't usually write a 1 in front of an x. We usually just assume that it's there, so we could actually simplify this a little bit and just say x plus 75. I wanted to go ahead and write the 1 temporarily so that we could emphasize that that's our slope. Remember that slope is the number in front of x. All right, finally, we need to interpret the slope and say what it is meaning. So we want to look at our x label and our y label. So we are increasing our completed number of assignments. So for every assignment that we complete, so every time that we can go up by 1 in our x value, we are also going up by 1 in our homework grade, and that's in percent. So we can write this as for every completed assignment, the grade increases. And how much does it increase by? It increases by 1, and homework grade was in percent, so 1%. And this 1% is our m, or slope, the slope.